Hi, I'm Miles Mann, intern at the Wren's Nest. It's called the Wren's Nest because the Wrens made their home in the mailbox. Joel Chandler Harris named it that. Joel Chandler Harris was a journalist for the Atlanta Constitution. I'm currently sitting at his desk that he would write the Brer Rabbit Tales. You also see a picture here with him and his colleagues. Here's a picture of George Terrell. George Terrell was an African-American slave on the Turnwell Plantation, where Mr. Harris worked as a 14-year-old boy for the Countryman. He would hear these tales that were originated in Africa and brought down to him. He passed these tales down through the Atlanta Constitution and wrote numerous tales preserving the regional dialect. He penned these tales from his home in the West End, part of the South Fulton community in Atlanta, Georgia.
Hi, I'm Melissa Swindell, the Executive Director here at the Wren's Nest. We welcome groups and school children throughout the week for tours in our home and visitors on the weekends with storytelling on Saturdays. This is the first time we'll be creating tours specialized in 15 unique topics of the Wren's Nest history. That spans over 100 years here in the West End neighborhood, along with specialized tours for children and young students.
For the past 20 years, our tours have been led by docents. They have been given to adults and children alike. We are creating new tours using 21st century technology while preserving the historic integrity of the Wren's Nest. For my internship project this semester, I chose to research Harris's new role in the New South. It was one of 15 topics to choose from as we redeveloped tours. The New South movement advocated social progression for blacks and also sectional reconciliation between the North and the South.
Using hotspot technology, guests on our new tours will be able to virtually select our objects using handheld devices such as phones and tablets.
Hi, I'm Meredith Deely. I'm a graduate student getting my master's in museum studies at Johns Hopkins University. I'm also a virtual intern for the Wren's Nest based in Washington, D.C. For my internship project, I will also create a new tour for the Wren's Nest, but instead of using the hotspot technology, I will use an app called Zapper, which allows visitors to scan QR codes in a special style called a Zap code, like this one, to reveal preloaded content. For my tour, these Zap codes will be placed near rabbit objects throughout the house and will reveal content about Joel Chandler Harris and the Wren's Nest. The hope is to create a scavenger hunt style tour that will encourage families and children to come visit the Wren's Nest.
I'm from Southwest Atlanta, so hearing these tales surprised me because it is part of my heritage, being told from African American slaves in Middle Georgia. So I was very attracted to the idea of Joel Harris as a writer, someone who preserved these stories, because I feel that more people need to hear about these tales. It's a cultural awareness that I'm trying to help the Wren's Nest reach.
What drew me to the Wren's Nest were the stories. Not just the Brer Rabbit stories, but the compelling stories of the people, the structure, the objects, and the history of the Wren's Nest, all of which are interesting and incredibly diverse. Furthermore, as an English major, I found it troublesome that I had never heard of Joel Chandler Harris before, despite the fact that he was a very famous author during his time, rivaling his contemporary Mark Twain in popularity. He also was a very influential writer. He created a lasting impact on dialect writing and was one of the first authors to anthropomorphize animals in his stories, something that influenced the creation of much beloved characters like Peter Rabbit and Winnie the Pooh. Joel Chandler Harris's legacy deserves to be preserved, and the Wren's Nest is doing fantastic work, especially with tours like this one, to share his stories and the stories of the Wren's Nest.
The Wren's Nest is asking United Way Spark Prize to invest $15,000 for our series of new tours. These funds will help us stipend college interns like myself and create content that will also supply the initial startup cost for the new technology. In addition, we also want to purchase 150 handheld devices to be used by guests. We currently partner with 2 West End middle schools throughout Atlanta, but we want to reach more schools in South Fulton by aligning our tours with their curriculum standards and providing each guest with a handheld device.